Christmas traditions and memories, they can be a good thing or they can be something that you decide you just don't want to carry on to your generation. When I grew up, my uncle did a Christmas letter in Christmas cards, and it would be 2 or 3 pages long. It would tell you everything from the weather to travel to what they did and accomplished this year, an update on all of their kids, and we would all pass these letters around and read them, and they were typed. But when I grew up, I found that that was not something I wanted to do. I thought this was something you were supposed to do. And I started out doing a handwritten letter my first couple of years that I was married, and I quickly decided that that was just too much work. And so I stopped doing it. But my uncle's daughter, my cousin, she still does a handwritten letter every single year, and she's now done it for 44 years. When I was growing up, during the month of December, we would go to Kmart on Friday nights for their blue light special. And if you're old enough to remember this, or if you've heard about this, it was quite the event. They had a big box on wheels with a long pole with a blue light at the top that would spin like a police light used to, and they would have a decoy light, and they would push them around the store, and everyone would just follow them in hordes, and families would split up to follow the two lights because they would run blue light specials. They only had so many items that they would mark down, and you had to be first or one of the first to get to the front to get one of those items. And my job was to get in there and get it and bring it back to mom to see if she wanted it. Me and a lot of other families did this all through December, and it was an adrenaline rush to say the least. So you would get in there, get something, and then take it back to mom. And if she didn't want it, they would just lay it on some random shelf. And if you weren't lucky enough to push your way to the front or wiggle your way to the front, then if you didn't get one, maybe you'd be lucky enough to find where some other mom laid hers down and didn't want it on a shelf later. But it was wild. And one week, I had a cyst by my ear and I had to have it removed. I had stitches, and my mom would not let me in there because it was too dangerous. They might rip my stitches loose. Another time when I was younger, but I was not, I mean, I was a skinny high school kid, but I was probably like 14. I made it in there. They were throwing out bags of chocolates, and sometimes the people at the front would just panic, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this horde of people is coming at me." And if they could, they'd just start throwing the things that they had marked down into the crowd. And the crowd would try to grab them before they hit the floor because you didn't want to bend over, you might get trampled. It was like a Black Friday event every single Friday night. And we went in there, and I was trying to get a bag of chocolates to take back to mom, and the person panicked and just started throwing them, and I got hit in the forehead with this huge bag of big chocolates with vanilla filling, and it just about knocked me cold, let me tell you. It was a wild event. Let me know if you remember blue light specials because they were crazy. Well, they stopped doing those. Kmart went out of business. Such a sad thing. I loved Kmart so much. That was like my number one place to go shopping. But I was at my daughter's, oh, I don't know, maybe 15, 10 years ago at her house, and she lived behind a huge shopping center. And on Thanksgiving Day, people would start lining up right after lunch outside Best Buy and all of these shops that were going to run these Black Friday specials where they opened up like at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. But they would start lining up right after Thanksgiving lunch. And we had a ball, and she was up on a chair with her telescope watching people in line in the middle of the afternoon, and it was cold, and we just couldn't believe that people were going to wait that long to get in to get the newest iPhone or whatever it was they had on special that day. Let me know in the comments a tradition that you no longer carry on in your family and a memory you have of Black Friday shopping or shopping to the extent where it was just a wild event. I would love to hear about it in the comments, and I'm sure everyone else would love to read about it too. Thank you for joining me today for Vlogmas, and please tune in tomorrow for another holiday, Christmas, December content all through December 24th.